Hi everyone, I'm Liz Joy, the congressional candidate here in New York 20, running on the Republican and conservative lines, and I'm here with Greg McGee, who is the president of the Albany Police Union, and he's also a friend of mine. And we wanted to get together today and talk about some of the things that are happening in Albany, and from your perspective, talk about the support that you need. I am a big supporter of our law enforcement officers, certainly in Albany as well, and want to do everything that I can do to show you that support. And we talked. I had the opportunity yesterday to bring some food to all of you there in Albany as you were preparing for another very long night, enduring some of the rioting and the protests that have turned very dangerous, I believe, at some points, and as you have also stated. And then this morning on Twitter, things seemed to blow up from, the Times Union, who looked at one of my tweets after delivering the food and saying, how nice it was to be able to go down there and support all of you. They didn't want to talk about any of that kind of support. They just wanted to talk about the fact that I used the word Antifa, and which was directly written on the Albany Police Union's Facebook page.
That's correct.
And so I was wondering, can you explain a little bit of that from that post, which really I thought was very informative and really showed a lot of what you and your police officers are having to put up with in Albany right now.
What ended up happening was that at some point on Monday, I was on the front lines all day Monday with the men and women of the department, and at some point, what we had was there was a very peaceful protest, and then there was a great dialogue between our chief of police, some of the officers, and at one point, a lot of the protesters started to move on their way. They had marched all day long, and there were some agitators that started to show up as the sun went down and it got darker. Evening time hit, they started launching fireworks. They started lighting M80s, and directly, in relation to the crowd, the actual protesters that were still there. There was a couple mixed in with the group that were lighting, and that actually placed the protesters in danger as well. A lot of the groups started to scatter, started to go on their way, and at some point, when it got completely dark, there was reports that people had gas cans. They were lighting gas cans. There was a report that actually 2 blocks over, they were trying to light cars on fire. So at that point, we knew the peacefulness had ended. It subsided. Then they started using fireworks. We were getting reports that, hey, they are lighting something in the crowd. It appeared to be fireworks, and they were mortar-style fireworks, which are normally meant to shoot in the air. They were pointing directly at our assets. Our Bearcats, our horses. So they started shooting those off, and that was when, like I said, peacefulness ends when you start doing that. You've now come to the point where you're here to intentionally hurt us. They started throwing the bricks and the rocks. After that, several members of the community were still there mingling in the crowd. They started to run away, and they kept saying, "This isn't us. This isn't us. This isn't what we wanted." One of the community members where I was stationed at on 3rd Street and Henry Johnson Boulevard, they actually grabbed a backpack off of a male. He was dressed in all black hooded sweatshirt, black face mask, black pants, black book bag. They grabbed it off of him and said, "Hey, this isn't us. This isn't our community." They said, "We don't want this." And they actually handed his book bag over to us and turned it over. We inspected that book bag, when things started to subside a little bit. And inside that book bag was water, milk, first aid supplies, zip ties, American flags to burn, as well as a world atlas, very thick book that is commonly used as a tactic to basically a makeshift body armor for our, to deflect some of our rubber bullets. It was all the telltale signs of what you'll see in the anarchist, handbook. It's what Antifa has been telling, you see all across the country, Antifa, whether it's out on the West Coast, down in the cities, in Philadelphia, Chicago, these Antifa members, it's a telltale sign. They're dressed in all black. They almost have a playbook.
Yeah, we're seeing it all across the
country. All across the country, you're seeing that. So I did, in my Facebook post, I physically saw what was in this book bag myself. what are you bringing zip ties to a protest for? If it's a peaceful protest, why do you need zip ties? Why do you need American flags to burn? Why do you need a first aid kit? Why are you bringing fireworks to a protest? Why are you, why are you bringing all these things, these tools that bring nothing but harm to other people? So during all that, like that's, like I said, that was when it was like, hey, you're professional protesters, rioters, looters, Antifa, whatever you want to call them, that they're there just to create anarchy. That was all they were there for.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that people know too, on your Facebook posts, you have been very vocal about the fact that you have a great relationship with the people that live in the city of Albany, and so do the Albany police, and the fact that peaceful protesting is something that you were all fine with, and that not one person in the department, what I should say is everybody in the department was absolutely horrified at what happened with George Floyd.
Absolutely.
So, and that is not a reflection in any way, shape, or form of anybody in the Albany Police Department. And you were very vocal about coming out against what happened to him.
Yep.
And the fact that you were eager to be able to protect the people who wanted to peacefully protest something that they were hurting over in their community.
Yeah.
And so when this happened, they were very vocal about saying, this is not us.
Yes.
And you all knew that. So they were obviously then, one of the other things that the Times Union was really trying to come against me at for tweeting out was that some of these people were being bussed in. And so can you speak to that a little bit?
So they made several arrests Monday night. There was 9 arrests total in regards to the protests and looting. 5 of the 9 were Caucasian males, and they did not live in the city of Albany. They lived on the outskirts. They lived in the suburbs. A very good commute. It's not something, you're not walking from where these guys live to our protest. You were not walking there. You were driving there. We saw it as the night went on that these protesters, Antifa rioters, they were caravanning in cars. They were very well organized. They were very well equipped. They were very well prepared.
Wow.
They had, there was at one point a whole caravan of cars that had to be at least 30 cars long that was zooming around the city, transporting these protesters and these looters, these rioters from, this point in the city to that point in the city. And then as the night went on, it was around 2 a.m., the caravan of cars came back to antagonize us again when we had thought that things had kind of quieted down. There was, SUVs that were fully packed with people. So yeah, they were bussed in, transported in, however you want to call it, for the Times Union to attack you for using my words or saying Antifa.
Well, they kept saying they wanted proof.
They wanted to bust in. Well, there's a very way to prove it. Yeah. It's called stick around with us till 2:30 in the morning. Stay on the line with us till 2:30 in the morning, and you will see exactly what's going on. Don't leave. The media doesn't need to leave when the peacefulness ends. Oh, we're going to go home. Okay, it's end. No, stick around with us till 2:30 in the morning. You will see that none of it is peaceful. The fact that we're in full military gear because, you're launching fireworks at us, and rocks to protect us. I'm going home at the end of the shift. I have a family to think about. So you're not, stick around for that. Report it objectively in the truth and say, yes, it was peaceful at one point. The peacefulness was ruined by agitators who aren't even from the city of Albany. Mm-hmm. What purpose do you have coming here? If you want to peacefully protest, exercise your First Amendment right, by all means, we encourage that. It gives me the right to talk my union stuff that I'm allowed to talk because of my First Amendment rights and as a union official. But if you can't come here and just have constructive conversation like many of the protesters did, if you're only coming here to destroy our city, we don't want you here. And we will, the message, we're going to find you. We're going to bring justice to you, and it's not going to be tolerated. We have a great relationship with our residents. We love our city. We love our residents. We do a great job with them. Don't destroy that. And a lot of these businesses that were destroyed between COVID and now this, some of these businesses might not open. Yeah. So, and for some of the community residents, especially, some of our elderly folks or, the low-income neighborhoods, some of these stores are where they get their necessities from, where they get their essentials, they get their food, they get their milk from. If these stores don't open, what message did you just send? You know, if you live in Clifton Park, why are you coming from Clifton Park to the city of Albany to destroy things? It makes no sense. Why are you coming from Niskayuna to the city of Albany to destroy things? Are you destroying the Price Chopper or the Market 32 or the Hannafords in Niskayuna or Clifton Park? No, you're coming here to destroy our neighborhood. We're not going to tolerate it.
Good for you. Good for you. And then before today, you know, have you had any reporter, especially from the Times Union, that even bothered to contact you to find out what it's like to be the police officers who are on the front lines there in Albany, who are dealing with this every single night? Because they were certainly slamming me on Twitter, demanding proof from me, talking about how they have had reporters there, you know, the whole time. Has anybody reached out to you as the president of the police union from the Times Union?
No, nobody specifically reached out to me about regards to any of this. And then I saw the Twitter, obviously, you know, between Robert Gavin and yourself, you know, asking how we knew it was Antifa and stuff like that. And instead of taking something, what you did yesterday, by, you know, as a good gesture to, you know, make sure the guys are fed, that we have water, or, you know, supplies, because we're, you know, we've 3 days in a row, some of these guys, we've been here for 16 plus hours holding the line. They took something that was good and turned it into something bad and tried to politicize it because, you know, of where's the proof? Well, I'm telling you where the proof is. I was there.
And has Congressman Paul Tonko, who is, you know, saying that he's, you know, in this with you, that he's, you know, together on this, has anybody heard from Congressman Paul Tonko to lend support, to call you guys, to find out how you're doing at all?
Nope. I mean, I've seen members of our common council there. I know our mayor had joined us at one point on Sunday night. Other than that, I haven't seen Paul Tonko. I haven't seen Chuck Schumer. I haven't seen Kirsten Gillibrand. I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen Governor Cuomo, whose mansion is, you know, blocks away. It's the capital of New York.
And you guys got to protect it.
And, you know, there, you know, he has his state troopers that, you know, detail, but his mansion is in our city. The capital is in our city. All these buildings are here. I've never seen a federal representative. I haven't seen the governor. Nobody's actually been out there. Like I said, our common council members have been there. They've witnessed it. You know, they know the relationships we have, but federally, no.
No one's bothered. What about the county executive there, Democrat Dan McCoy?
You know what? I see his press conferences every day, but I haven't seen him out on the front lines with us either. Like I said, you know, our mayor was there Sunday night with us. You know, it was a little bit of a lull in the violence, but she was definitely there Sunday night. We and her had talked. We had a very good conversation, very good dialogue about what was going on, but I have not seen the county executive. I have seen Sheriff Craig Apple has been there with us every night. He has been, you know, standing in line with us every night. He's been there you know, ready to go.
That's good.
So Sheriff Apple has been there, but other than no Tonko.
No Tonko.
No Schumer.
No Schumer, no Gillibrand, no McCoy.
I do not see Paul Tonko coming to the stations and making sure the guys are fed, hydrated, making sure we're supplied. That's not happening. So
I'm sorry, because you guys deserve it. Well, all the police officers deserve it. All the law enforcement deserve the support. We all want unity. We all want our communities to be safe. We all want to see racial equality, and something that happened to George Floyd is horrendous and to never, ever happen again. But we also all want our communities to have safety, security, for people's businesses to be able to open up, for law enforcement to feel that they have the support of their local leaders, their state leaders, and their federal leaders. Our law enforcement deserves that. And what would you like to see different? That's one question I want to ask. So what would you, as the president of the union, like to see different from the leaders? What do you need?
To touch on what you had said, I mean, I did put my post that, you know, what we saw out in Minneapolis is disgusting. It was heinous. That officer needs to rot in a jail cell for as long as he possibly can for what he did. He tarnished the badge that we all put on every day. And like I said, 99.99% of us come to work every day. We do it for the right reasons. That guy does not represent any of us.
And it's like that in any profession.
Yes.
It's like that in the medical profession. Not every, you know, with doctors, it's like that with teachers. It's like that in any profession. There's always somebody, but it doesn't reflect the majority.
No, not. I said, if you can show me a cop that supports or even can defend what he did. And I'll apologize if there's other evidence that shows that maybe there was something we're missing. I'll apologize, but there's nothing that shows to me or any other law enforcement officer, federally, state, locally, county, that will ever defend what he did. Like I said, he needs to, justice needs to be served on him. He needs to spend the rest of his life in a jail cell. I know that doesn't bring back Mr. Floyd, but you destroyed this country for your stupid act.
Mm-hmm.
But from our officials, how about leading from the front for once? Stop leading from the back. Stop hiding. Stop running. Actually lead. You were elected to do a job by the people, and you are doing nothing. You are doing absolutely nothing to lead this country. The country is in chaos and burning, and instead of putting everything aside, they want to point fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Lead from the front. Be a leader. If you can't be a leader, step aside and let somebody else lead.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that. And anything else that you want to sort of, make known on behalf of the officers that you work with, or anything like that?
Like I said, just the men and women I work with have done a phenomenal job. I will stand by them and defend them till I'm blue in the face. They are doing a great job. They're exhausted, but we're holding the line. Thank you to the New York State Police for their continued support, the resources they've brought to help us. Thank you to the Albany County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Craig Apple, for their support. Guilderland Police, Colony Police especially, Bethlehem Police, they've all been there with us, almost regularly now every night. So it's fantastic to see all the law enforcement agencies working together to make sure that we all go home, like I said. But if you're a leader, then now's the time to lead and not hide.
Yeah, I agree. And I support you. I support all of the officers, all over that are in our area, certainly, and in New York 20 and in the state and in the nation. If there's anything that I can do for you guys, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much for all that you do, and getting out there, and anything that you guys need. If I can do it, I will. So thank you so much for working so hard for unity in our communities. Thank you for standing up and leading and standing up for the people that are peacefully protesting, and also standing up to keep businesses safe, to keep the people safe, because getting out there every day when you don't have that support that you need from the local officials or some of the state, and certainly the federal, Paul Tonko, and certainly when you don't have good reporting like the Times Union, who is nitpicking, I want to say thank you. So God bless you guys. You have my prayers, and I know that I've said that to you guys before, praying for our law enforcement, and just wanted to get that out there so that you all know the truth about what Albany is facing, and hopefully our other communities are not going to face the same thing. But we've heard rumors that some of those things might be trying to happen in local areas, and I guess we'll find out. So
well, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. Thank you.